And this is going to sound like it's not allowed in classical ballet, or it's going to sound counterintuitive, but I've seen it work. Hey dancers, it's Kirsten. Welcome back to the Confident Dancer YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to follow up with a video about how to stop hating pirouettes, or at least feeling really bad about them. And this is a follow-up to my video on how to stop hating adagio. All of the tips I shared in that video completely apply to pirouettes and any step, but I'm going to specifically share also some additional tips for pirouettes specifically. How many times can I say specifically? I know so many dancers have mental blocks around pirouettes. So I'm going to give you a few helpful insights that I share with my mindset coaching clients that I know will be helpful for you as well. Of course, this is really just the tip of the iceberg, but this is enough to really get you started in already seeing a change in the way you feel going into pirouettes, which will definitely change the way you're able to do them. So the first thing that I want to point out is that it's so important to get your mind and body feeling safe going into a pirouette. So often when people are having issues turning the way they want to, it's because their mind and their emotional state is signaling, I'm not safe doing this turn. When I see other dancers do pirouettes, I can tell who is going into them with fear. And I notice really, really interesting little things that suggest their mind is subconsciously going into self-protection mode and trying to get them out of the pirouette. I see things like, for example, even in the fourth position preparation, I see everything is fine, fine, fine going in. And right around the time where maybe they're doing their tombe pas de bourrée, or the step right before the turn, I see their ankles stiffen up, the knees stiffen up, their spine and neck stiffen, and their gaze kind of go more inward. And I see the physical tension is probably a manifestation of the fear they have around turns. And one thing that I really work to help dancers shift into when I'm coaching them individually is feeling psychologically and emotionally safe and physically safe in the turns. Because when your mind, even on a subconscious level, feels safe doing the turns, little things like a wobble is no longer your mind's cue to say, abort, abort, this is so scary, come down. For a dancer who feels psychologically safe doing the turn, I notice that even a wobble is something they feel they can adapt and keep going through. Or at least, even if they're not able to save it, I see them land the turn in a grounded way. I actually believe this is not so much having to do with their physical and technical training as the psychological state they have when they're doing the turn. Obviously, practice, experience, and an understanding of proper technique is important if you want to do turns well, but I'm assuming you're watching this video because you are getting corrections, you're trying to apply the corrections, you're practicing, you've had years of training, and you still feel stiff, you come down early, you have emotions of stress or fear or something unpleasant coming up around turns, and you want to avoid them, you don't feel good at them, so you're starting to understand it's probably your mental state that's holding you back from doing the turns properly. So obviously good dancing is a combination of knowing how to master your mental state and obviously having physical strength and an understanding of proper technique, but it's really when both come together that the best dancing is done. At least that's what I've seen and that's what I've experienced, it's what I believe. Some really interesting things that I've seen in dancers who don't feel safe doing turns is I notice little things will happen like, okay, I'm holding my arms obnoxiously high so you can see them. I don't actually do my turn like this for the record. Anyway, I will notice them not only stiffening up in the prep, but even if the turn is going well, I see dancers sabotaging their turns. They don't even know they're doing it. They'll do something like lift the arms and go back, even though they were on balance. I swear it's because there's something mental going on. Like everything's fine, 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 and either their heel will just drop for no apparent reason, or they'll do something like this to knock themselves back so they come down. That is the proof I see of mental blocks going on around pirouettes. So what you can do to start establishing more of a sense of safety in turns is focusing on one area of the body that you do feel secure in. Maybe whether you are on demi-pointe or in pointe shoes, what I like to focus on to really ground myself physically and to feel safe is a feeling of like relaxation in the crease of my ankles and my knees going into the prep. And I feel my arms feeling supported and strong. There's not only one right answer for this, so you can find what areas of the body feel strong and grounded for you. That's what I feel in my prep, and I feel my neck loosen. I've trained myself to do that. I focus my mind on these sensations, or you can even just pick one. And then when I'm actually in the turn, especially if I'm on point, I focus on the sensation of my ankle being very secure and my foot pointing in the shoe. That is because it really focuses my mind on an area in which I feel secure. And I notice that when I feel secure in that area, which is within my control, it feels like something I can very much control. It helps me to stay up through the end of the turn and come down when I want to, way more often. When I'm just focused generally in my mind on the whole turn, I find that I easily start thinking about the end of the turn and doubts like, oh my gosh, can I do it? And that gets my mind focusing on things that don't feel totally certain or within my control, which triggers the feeling of fear, which is of course not a safe feeling for you consciously or subconsciously. So I recommend that you find, again, like maybe one area of your body that you can feel your muscles supporting you feel secure, you feel strong and grounded, and just put your attention on that during the turn. Hey dancers, I hope you're really enjoying the video so far. I just want to briefly mention to you that if you've been struggling with mental blocks like perfectionism, comparison, self-doubt, or just generally noticing that your mind is causing like self-sabotaging behavior, like holding back when you're really wanting to impress or getting super nervous before a performance, in any case or in any way that that's showing up for you, if your mind is holding you back from feeling as happy and as confident as you want to be as you dance, and also if it's holding you back from performing your best consistently, then I want to invite you to consider the Confident Dancer Coaching Program, which is my signature mindset coaching program for dancers that helps you to totally do an overhaul on your mindset and learn the practical mental tools, frameworks, and techniques to build healthy, authentic confidence and really train your mind to help you perform your best consistently as a dancer. So if that's something you're really interested in, I do offer a free 30-minute consultation. So if you want to just try this out, talk through your goals and challenges and see if this work is a fit for you, I absolutely welcome you to visit the link below, visit my website, learn all about my coaching services, and book that free consultation. There is no harm and nothing to lose, so just go for it. So I hope you're enjoying the video, and let's get back into it. The second thing, again, to start easing tension with the body and finding more of a sense of safety in the turns. And this is going to sound like it's not allowed in classical ballet, or it's going to sound counterintuitive, but I've seen it work. For a time, when you're rewiring your relationship with turns, really do allow yourself to, when you're practicing at least on your own, create a very, very simple and doable definition of success. Like, I'm really just going to go around and no matter how the turn looks, I'm just going to finish it by putting my foot down and really being strong in my finish, which when you think about it is more within your control than you might think. You can really put your foot down and ground yourself in your finish or plie, whatever it is. It's going to be some form of a plie. I don't know who lands their turns with the straight legs. That would be wretched. You could just focus on, I'm just going to release the idea of doing a good turn, and I'm just going to focus on getting around easily, just letting myself go, and I'm going to have a strong finish. That's it, like just ground my feet in the floor. So removing excess expectations from yourself, like I have to nail the double, it has to look good, I should be here by now in my skill level for how much training I've had. Take a step away from those expectations for now and just allow yourself to honestly maybe just define success as I'm just going to allow myself to just feel comfortable in the turn. I'm not going to focus on making them look amazing. I'm just going to start to help myself feel comfortable. And that can really, really be a healing next step. The last thing I'll mention for this video, I could really just go on and on and on with pirouettes tips. So if y'all want me to do a part 2 to this, let me know. But something that I found a lot of success in with my own pirouettes is really overall looking at my beliefs and my identity around turns. So often dancers decide early on in their training, I'm not an actual turner. Turns just aren't my thing. Okay, beliefs like that do not serve you. They keep you stuck in a box. We don't often have limiting beliefs like that in all the other areas of our technique. Sure, there definitely are common ones around like adagio or turnout, flexibility, jumps. But honestly, in a lot of other areas of your technique, I am willing to bet that you have a growth mindset in those areas. Like, for example, with, let's say, tendus. A lot of people don't get hung up about tendus. They're just like, I'm working on improving my foot articulation, my placement, my turnout. And so you have a belief system and an identity, like, I am a person who can improve in that area. I am working on this. But in pirouettes, especially, we get so fixed sometimes. Like, I'm not a natural turner, so turns are hard for me. Okay, again, start to open up your mind and say, actually, if I were to open my mind to a new approach and continue to experiment until I find what works for me, how likely is it that I could actually enjoy turns and feel pretty good doing them? I totally believe that's possible for literally anybody. So open your mind and allow yourself to experiment with new beliefs and identities. Like, I'm a dancer who can improve in any area, the more I'm willing to experiment with new solutions. Of course that is true. Of course that is true. I truly believe that if you have two functioning legs, to be able to do a standing leg and like a passe or whatever other leg position you're doing the turn in, you possess enough resources within yourself to make improvements in the way you do turns. So it's oftentimes our mind that stops us and that keeps our identity or negative beliefs around turns just keep getting reinforced. Anytime we make a mistake, it goes in that evidence bucket for those old negative beliefs. And what you can do is recognize, wow, that's the power of my mind at play, creating self-fulfilling prophecies. I can change that. Friend, your mind is one of the most flexible things about you. If you can learn to do the splits, you can learn to change your mind. You really can. So I'm going to leave you with that pep talk and invite you to start exploring new empowering beliefs you can start reinforcing with yourself. And anytime you do have a little, even a little success with a turn, or you see a little improvement or change, put it in that evidence bucket for a new belief. See, I can create change. See, I can improve. I can be a dancer who is good at turns. You will be amazed how much that does so much heavy lifting for you in changing your experience around turns. So like I said, I could really go on and on and on about this with so many more insights, but that'll be enough for today. I also have to get on a meeting right now, so I need to go. But hope you really enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.